team and basically guys that I've seen in the league since it started. A lot of new faces, so if I don't talk to y'all, it's nothing personal. I'm going to try my hardest to get to know each and every one of y'all. And it's a lot of y'all, but anyway. I just wanted to, first of all, I grew up in an area I'm from the 80s. I'm from the 80s. So I grew up in an area that's not nice. But I grew up in an area called, it's the something Tioga area. I don't know if y'all know where is that at in Philadelphia, but it was a rough little area. And I got in trouble a lot, and I sold drugs through basically my whole life. And I've been to prison, and in '93, I got shot 7 times. And that wasn't really, a lot of people will say they get shot 7 times and that'd be a wake-up call, but for me it wasn't. It just made me worse. Because when I got out of the hospital, it made me feel like, well, if I didn't die, well, 7 bullets ain't killed me, nothing else. So it made me a little worse. So it was backwards for me. So, as time went on, in '89, I had a son, his name was Carlos Jr. A lot of you guys haven't met him because I'm going to get to that part. And a lot of you guys do know him. So he was out of my life for a little bit, because I was doing my thing. My son's mom was doing her thing with him. So in '90, I'm going to fast forward a little bit. In 2000, around 2098, around that area, me and my son connected again. He was already like 10. So, I started, taking my son to church and whatnot, dropping him off on the weekends at church. I would just leave him there and I would go back home. This went on for a long time. He never asked me, Dad, why don't you ever come in with me? He never asked me that. I guess it wasn't in his right time to tell me that. So one day, I'm dropping him off and people would invite me in, but I wouldn't go in. So, at this one time I dropped him off, and I said, what, let me go in. So I went in. I wasn't really listening to anything what was going on, I was just observing. So, this is around the year when the Timoteo League started. And if I can recall, I can't even remember the date. Anybody remember the date? 04? Okay, 04. We're on 04. So when the Timoteo League started, the first year, my son was on a team with Bill Campbell. I don't know if y'all know who Bill Campbell is. But I never went to a game. I'm going to be honest with you, I think I went to one game. So, I kept on hearing about this league, and my son was more involved in it. Even though my son had a bad temper, this kid was sometimes uncontrollable. And the coaches, they know what I'm talking about. But the second year, I was getting more involved in church, and I was seeing the changes in his life. So, I told myself, I'm going to try to give this father-son thing a little bit more time. Because, I worked a lot, so I didn't really have a lot of time for him. So I said, what I'm going to do? The second year of the Timoteo League, I talked to my wife, and I told her, what? I'm going to join in assistant coach on his team. So maybe we can bond a little bit better. So that's how it planned out. So, I assistant coached the Vikings the second year with Danny Silva. It went alright, because I don't really know too much about football. I'm just learning all this stuff now. Right. So it was alright, but everybody knows that. But the second year, me and my son was bonding, which was cool. We still had there was still a little gap in the middle because of the duration that I was gone. He was mad, but I understood, I was gone for a while. So the third year came, and we got a little bit more closer because we used to, at home, we used to talk about routes that he would run, or the mistakes he made, or what can help him. He used to ask me to go running with him. So, I would do that, being as though I didn't like to run, but, he's my son, so I figured I had to. But the third year came around, and it was, this my son just had turned 18, got his driver's license and whatnot. We got him a car, me and my wife, we got him a car. He was doing good things. He went to Africa for a business trip. Things just working out fine. So I'm sitting back, really laid back, watching everything. Wow, me and my wife got married in '06. We got baptized in the church. We got married in the church. So everything was working out. So what just happened just took me for a loop. I'm here doing bad. I'm doing bad things in my life. I turn it around and try to do good. Bam! My son dies in a car accident. 2008. So, he dies, and I really don't know how to handle it. It was real hard for me. So, and it was in the middle of the season. Middle of the season, he passes away. It was like the last game. Maybe the last 3 games in the playoffs, if I can remember. I know we was playing the day that we buried him. We played the Packers that day.
That's right. First round playoffs.
Yeah, we played the Packers that day and we won. But that day of that game, it was so hard for me because I'm used to seeing him running up and down. So the following year, I talked to my wife. I said, you know what? This is it for me. I'm done. I don't really want to do this no more because my son's not there. It's like a waste of my time now. Because the reason I started was because I wanted to bond with him, but now he's gone. So who am I bond with now? I got another son. He's back there. So but anyway, I thought about it, but I was still going to church, even though all this happened to me. And I always ask myself why. I see all these kids in the neighborhood, because where I live at, I drive around, and y'all guys see it. Y'all drive around Caronville, Somerset, all y'all see is kids smoking weed, selling drugs, and here go my son going to college, transferring to a Bible college, doing the right thing, working, and here goes these kids doing the bad things, but they're still here, and my son is gone. And I still live with that. I still ask myself that. But